Now, following the Basic Education Minister Angie Motshekga's announcement last night of the class of 2020 results having achieved 76.2% pass rate, the Northwest Education MEC, Wendy Matsemela, has released the province's 2020 Matric Results. Thousands of Matric learners have bought newspapers and are checking their results. Let's take you now to Sentleeng Lehihi. Sentleeng, what is the latest? Is there a sense of excitement in the Northwest?
Good morning to you and our viewers. I most certainly say that, it's a catch-22 for the province. Having lost out in our top 4 position and now being at the 5th place, it is a bitter pill to swallow for us to realize that, there still needs to be a whole lot more work to be done to recover to our point of glory. We have heard the MEC, speak about the fact that the number of challenges that we experienced with infections in schools among learners and teachers, and also struggles over resources and PPEs, there was still a dedication and commitment to ensure that all of these are actually met accordingly to ensure that the learners are allowed and given the support to write the exams. She also reminded us that unlike other years, last year there were no June exams, and therefore the learners or matriculants had to write exams for June and December at one go, thus putting immense pressure on the learners there to ensure that they beat the challenges that they faced. But having spoke about the challenges that the province faced, to contextualize the challenges faced by teachers in the education system, was joined by SATU Provincial Secretary Temba. Dr. Temba, can you explain to us the challenges that teachers had to overcome for them to ensure that 2020 matriculant year was somewhat victorious?
Well, firstly, let's take this opportunity to congratulate the class of 2020 for their resilience, their commitment and hard work. For us as an organization, it's not about the position, it's about the hard work under these trying difficult times. And we want to congratulate the teachers and the learners. Obviously, we know that in 2020, our learners were faced with tremendous challenges of closure and reopening of schools now and then as a result of the pandemic, anxiety that came along with the pandemic, and all those challenges. Amongst others, you'll know that there was a challenge in terms of the learners accessing online classes, and especially your rural and farm schools who necessarily will not have those particular necessary facilities to continue learning whilst the schools were closed. So as a union, we have said that it's important that the organization or the department should be able to look into some of these particular challenges going forward, so that we're able to prepare ourselves for 2021 for any eventuality of making sure that indeed the learners are preparing themselves. We know that as a result of shortage of spaces in our classrooms, some of the schools could not have learners attending throughout, and those have been contributing factors. However, we think that the department should be able to take stock of what has happened in 2020, be able to make sure that we put necessary preparations for 2021, including making sure that infrastructure is readily available. Issues like your libraries, your laboratories are very critical, especially for subjects like your physical science, where learners have to demonstrate through practical. So we think that it will be important that the department should be able to make that particular assessment. Over and above that, the subjects that have not performed very well, we think that through the diagnostic report, the department must be able to empower teachers through the teacher development program, so that we are able to fill up on the necessary skills gap that are there in the teachers, so that the class of 2021 should then be ready, fully prepared for the upcoming results.
Most certainly, Mr. Temba, explaining to us there that there need to be quite a re-look at the challenges that we've been faced, and reworking the dedication to assisting the learners, then ensuring that all the PPE challenges, resource challenges are met, to ensure that those who dropped out or did not complete their matriculant year are also brought back into the system rather. But let us explain this dilemma that faces learners, and the MEC also spoke of it, that there were learners who were among the top performers who also fell through the gaps and did not return to write their matriculation or matric exams.
Yeah, Thank you, ma'am. I think that as professional educators, we acknowledge the fact that there were a lot of hiccups through the 2020 academic year. But however, we also wish to congratulate those learners who did well. And we say a soldier on. And then we are also saying to those of fallen heroes, educators that we lost in the system, we are saying to those educators, the efforts that they have made, we really appreciate it as a community. We also want to thank the communities that has rallied behind us. As educators, we had fights with the department in terms of how things are supposed to be done. But the good thing about it is that we think that we have learned. And 2021 should become a year of difference, because we do not expect that the challenges that we had in 2020 will still be having those challenges. The challenges of teachers with comorbidities, the challenges of schools not having classes, the challenges of infrastructure. And we are saying to those learners that did not do well, for those schools that are able to accommodate those learners, let them accommodate them so that at least at the end of the day they have their matrics. And those that are not able to accommodate them, at least create programs that will be able to assist these learners so that at the end of the day they become better people in our community. But as Professional Educators Union, we are saying congratulations for the class of 2020.
Thank you very much for your time, and they're talking to us about the recovery of those learners who unfortunately fell through the gaps, and ensuring that there's some sort of cushion created to ensure that these children are not lost to their own devices and unable to return back to matric. But from us here in Potchefstroom, for now, back to you in studio.
Thank you so much for that update. Sentleeng Lehihi there for you.